Welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC and some low volume or big volume altcoins, right? So basically, low market caps, right? So we're going to start off with with BTC, at least for the short term, right? And then after, we're going to take a look at Matic Celr, Land, FUEL, and then we're also going to take about FET, right? We're going to talk about FET. So let's start off with BTC. BTC is still holding strong, as we talked about last time. I'm still looking for BTC to give us some sort of divergence from this area of let's say 74, 75 up to like 7,800, right? So we talked about last time. That's the same setup we got. I said you're getting a flat correction just about this area, a double bottom, a push to the upside. So let's say it is playing out perfectly the last 24 48 hours. So let's see if we're going to be able to come back and retest let's see 74 to 78, right? So it might take like a couple more days, or it might take just like a few more hours to come back down and get a slight sell-off. Let's see. It is just about another 4% down, right? So 4% sell-off is not going to be a big deal. So after that, I'm looking for a retest of like 9,000, right? Let's take a look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame, it doesn't look bad at all. We like I said last time, we're getting the same type of correction just about this area. A nice beautiful flat correction. So most people will would be thinking like it is a a triangle, a ascending triangle, a drop to the downside. But if you could anticipate the drop, just to get this flat correction. Most people are going to be waiting for like let's say 5k 6k BTC, but I think like we still got like plenty of room to go, right? So it is not a correction. It is not a corrective move to a drop to the downside, just like a straight sell up to 5k, 6k. So it'll look bad if, like, let's say we just come back down to these levels. So let's see. Come back down to this level. It's not going to be a straight sell off. So it is not going to be a straight sell off. So, but I'm looking for 9k again before we push higher to like 11 to 12k, right? So let's take a look at the weekly chart. The weekly, yes, it is not looking nice on the weekly. So, but hopefully we're gonna be able to break like get back to like 8,500 before Sunday. So just cause like we need some momentum like next week to push higher. So the weekly is not looking great at all, but on the daily time frame, we still got like some plenty of room to go. So let's take a look at the monthly. When you take a look at the monthly, we've been like pretty much bullish the last 4 months. So got the biggest candle last month, right? Like let's say May, right? We got the biggest bullish candle the last within the last like 15 months, right? So it is a big deal, right? So it is pretty much normal to just get some sell-off. Most people are going to be taking profits, so it is pretty much normal for BTC to come back down like to 74, 70 to 100 before we be able to push high. So that's it is going to be like the the biggest tail. When you take a look at it, like the last 4 months, we didn't get any tails, right? So you can take a look at it, right? But if like let's say we're gonna be pushing higher like to 11k, it is gonna be extremely bullish, like, cause we're gonna be getting like a big tail, right? So, and then we haven't seen any big tail like since like let's see December 1st, right? So December 1st, this month, right? That's the last time we got a big tail. So, but we're just gonna have to wait and see the next 3 weeks and see how it's gonna play out. So the volume, let's take a look at the volume first before we move on to Matic. Like I was expecting like last month of Last month we got like almost like 1.5 trading volume. That's the biggest volume we received like on Binance. Like I can't even remember last time we got 1.5. Like I mean a bullish month, right? So that was like the biggest we got was like that was back in February, right, 2018. So and then we got like 1.2 May 2019 we got like 1.5. so that's pretty significant, right? So it is pretty significant in a bear market. Most people think like we're still in a bear market. So and then you know, some people are still waiting for like a 2000, you know, 2k BTC. So but we will see. So we're extremely bullish. Let's move on to Bitstamp and BTC and take a look at the stochastic. The monthly stochastic still like extremely bullish. Like I said, like back in March and April, like I said, like we're gonna get some noise, but you know, it is not going to be very significant, right? It is not going to be significant. So you know, it is extremely bullish. No, let's see, we're not getting any sign of a reversal on the, you know, on the monthly chart. So it'll take like a lot of sell off to see like some noise on the stochastic, at least the monthly, right? So you take a look at the weekly. The weekly, you know, we just got like a slight sell off to the downside. We're gonna get back up to the upside, right? So like I said back in March, you know, we're gonna get back to this area. So until like the monthly get back to this area, you know, I don't see like BTC like going down. So let's go back to the monthly. I'm looking for the monthly to get back to this area, right? So once we get the weekly and then the monthly, both of them to the, I mean, both the weekly and then the monthly, you know, up to this area, you know, we can start to like at least like start to be bearish, like you know, slowly being bearish. But I said it like since like a BTC was just about this area, right? The stochastic, we're gonna get up to this area. So we like 68 right now. I'm looking for like you know, 85 to 90 for the monthly chart. So and then the weekly, let's go back to the weekly. Yeah, the weekly is not looking bad. So you know, it's not looking bad. You know, if you're looking for the weekly to get like down to this area, you're looking for like Bitcoin like going back down to like let's say, you know, 2k 2500, right? So I don't see like the weekly stochastic getting back down to these areas so anytime soon. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term, right? So at least for the short term. So let's go ahead and talk about Matic. Matic weekly, it's only like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Let's go to a 4-hour time frame. When you take a look at Matic, it doesn't have like enough history, but you know, it is still like you know, something you can do a little TA on, right? So if you go on my trading view, you know, I got the same setup for Matic, right? Matic BTC, you know, setup, right? So we hit our target perfectly, just about let's see, just about like a 300, right? So you take a look at it, that was like a June 2nd, right? So you know, we basically just about this area of a green box, right? Well above this area. So let's see how we're gonna be able to push higher right now, right? So first of all, we're gonna take a look at the bullish momentum before we talked about the bearish momentum, right? So let's take a look at the bullish momentum, right? So we got a big, let me just remove everything. Okay, we got a big move, right? So just about this area, almost like a 10x move for the first wave. So I'm still thinking like Matic got like another big wave to the upside, right? So even though, you know, most people think like it's a pump and dump, you know, I still believe like we got another big wave to the upside. The market cap for Matic is just about like 50 million, right? So I think like it has a lot of hype, and then it could get like to like, let's say 100, at least like 100 million, right? To 150 million. So you would be looking at like a, you know, at least Matic like going like another 2x, right, on the dollar value. So it depends like how BTC going to be performing also, right? So but if BTC like stays at like a 7 to 8k, you could be looking at Matic going like to like a 700, right? So if BTC stays at a you know, at a 7 to 8k, right? So you take a look at the bullish momentum, right? We got a big move to the upside, right? So if I'm looking for another move to the upside, right? I'm looking for a 1-to-1 extension to a 1.618 extension, right? So a 1-to-1 extension gonna take us just about like a 700, right? 771, right? And then 1.618 extension gonna take us like almost 1100, right? So that would be like the second wave. So, and that's just like the 4-hour time frame. It is looking extremely bullish. No sign of reversal, except like the stochastic is kind of like it's kind of high, but it is just noise, right? Because Matic is too bullish, like to say like, you know, the stochastic gonna be dropping down to this area, right? So it is too bullish right now. So to say like the stochastic gonna drop, we could be getting these type of waves just like that, right? Just like that, some noise just like that, right? So, but I don't see like I don't talk about the stochastic on the lower time frame because, you know, sometimes it is just noise. So let's just remove this. So, but you take a look at the RSI. The RSI is looking like great, no divergence. Like on the 4-hour time frame, you know, RSI is moving to the upside. You know, price is moving to the upside. So it's no sort of divergence like you know, like what we got on the first wave, right? The big pump right here. Right, you got a big divergence, you know, price is just moving to the upside, right? So let's see. Just about this area, so right. So you got your it's not even a divergence if you really take a look at it like that, right? It's not even a divergence. So the move was just like too big. So on the 4-hour time frame, so let's see, you know, we got a big move to the upside. RSI was also moving to the upside, so it wasn't even a divergence. So we're not getting any divergence right now. Also, we could be looking at, you know, this type of move to the upside, and then most likely RSI gonna get to let's see, all right, we're gonna get to like you know, just about like 85 to you know, 90, at least 85 to 9, right? And then match this area, right? Just like that, right? So, but Matic is extremely bullish, at least for the short term. It is extremely bullish. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. The hourly time frame looking the same. The hourly is just about 71. When you take a look at the hourly, you know, RSI is just about 71. And then when you go back to the 4-hour time frame, it is just about 73. So they both matching like a different time frame, like a 4-hour and then a 1-hour time frame. They both got the same RSI. So it is, you know, a good sign, at least for the short term. You know, at least for the short term, we could be retesting. Let's see. We could go high and retest like 350 to 360, right, up to this area, just about this area, right? And then make a, you know, either a bull flag or make a flat correction, right? So if Matic wants to go up, it has to make this type of, you know, corrective move, either a bull flag or, you know, a you know, flat correction. But we cannot, you know, just drop, you know, back to this area of let's say 250 to 225. It'll look bad, at least for the short term. So, but we're gonna talk about also the bearish momentum, which I think like has a low chance to succeed, but we're just still gonna be talking about it, right? So when you take a look at the bearish momentum, we could be looking at this you know, this channel just about this area, right? You could be looking at this channel, and then you know, if you want to be bearish, you could be anticipating Matic to come. You could be anticipating Matic to come back down and retest like a 200 range, right? So at least for the short term. So if I'm seeing like if I start to see like some sell-off, I'm definitely going to be looking for some you know, some target just about 200 range. It might not get there like in 2 days or so. It might take like, you know, a couple more days or a week or so to get back to this area. So it's not going to look exactly like this, you know. It might look very ugly, like, you know, you know, like that, and then come back down to this area. So, but that's about it for Matic. And then we're gonna move on to let's take a look at it. Celr network. You know, Celr is looking like a, you know, Matic, same exact pattern. You know, on the way up, you know, SELR was following Matic, but on the way down, you know, basically Matic is following it. So it's basically, you know, the other way around right now. So, but it is looking extremely bullish, right? So you take a look at it, you just about like, you know, 0.618 pullback, right? So, but we're not getting any sort of divergence, like, you know, basically, you know, price is flat just about this area on the 4 hour. You know, RSI is not, it's not flat, but it could go higher, right? So it is not flat, but we could like push higher, at least for the short term, because the RSI is only 71, right? On the 4 hour time frame. It is not a, you know, it is not, you know, overbought at all, right? So, but we could be, you know, looking at like a 285 at least to you know, 285 to 320 at least for the short term, to retest this top before another like a correction, just like that, right? Just like that, right? Get some correction just about this area, and then we're gonna decide which way we're gonna go. So, but I'm looking for at least like a Celr to be able to retest like 330, you know, and then at least for the short term, we're gonna decide if we're gonna be able to break it, or we're gonna come back down to this level of 150, right? So 150 or so. So it is almost like 100% up. So I mean, not 100%, but like almost, let's see, almost 80% up, right? You know, the last 5 days or 7 days, something like that. So it is a big deal. So, but the RSI is looking great. 71 is pretty strong. A bull flag just about this area. You know, I'm not seeing any you know, any selling pressure. The volume is, you know, not big, the volume is not heavy, it's not low neither, so it is pretty constant. So let's see if we're going to be able to get to 330 at least for the short term, right? So let's move on to LEND, LEND. LEND is starting to look bullish again. We got a, you know, big, you know, ABC correction to the upside after the big sell-off from like April 1st. You know, you remember, right? You remember I said like April 1st and then April 13th are the most important dates in crypto, right? So on April 1st, most crypto, like 90% of them, right, they drop like you know, to the downside until like you know, May 13th, right? So, and then they got a nice big corrective move. So, and then now we're coming back down mostly like let's say almost like 0.618, 0.786, right? We just about 0.786, just about like 100 sats. Now it is sitting at 106. So I'm looking for a big move from LEND, at least for the short term. It is making a nice accumulation move. The RSI is looking great, big divergence, right? It's not a divergence, but the RSI is looking great. So it is looking great. So it is looking great. So it is extremely looking great. So you know, the selling pressure is declining. You know, the slope of the selling pressure is declining. You got a three-way move to the downside on the daily time frame also. So when you really want to look at it like that, so we could be retesting just about like you know, 120 in that range, just about this area. It could be a big move. I don't think like a LEND gonna be like moving slowly just like that to 120. It could give us like a very big move, a big rejection, you know, a nice corrective move just about this area before a further move to the upside. So I'm pretty bullish on LEND, Matic, and Ether Delta, right? So we're going to talk about Ether Delta next, but LEND, I'm looking for a retest of 125, a slight rejection, a push high. So it is a nice corrective move. So a nice corrective move. The RSI is looking great. So let's take a look at Ether Party. I think Ether Party. Ether party, yeah. Ether party is looking great. Same exact pattern, right? With a LEND, right? Same exact pattern. The only difference is that Ether party is making like a 5-way structure just about this area, like when starting like a May 14th, right? Like I said, like April 1st and then May 13th, May 14th, are very important in crypto. So we got a 5-way structure just like that, right? At the same time, we came back down to the same exact area points, 0.786. Now we're getting a big move to the upside, right? So I'm looking for a flag before a push, a push to the upside. So it could be lagging just about this area, like you can see like the volume is very big. Also we could be lagging just about this area the next couple of hours, like let's say 24 to 36 hours before we push higher, right? So the current price is just about 116. So I don't think like we're going to be around this area of 110 to 116 forever, right? So we most likely going to get back to this area of 160 to 150, right? So and you would be looking at another 40% move to the upside, just like a GXS, right? GXS, right? So yeah, GXS give us like a 50% move a couple of days ago. I talked about it on my previous live stream, right? Before we got that 50% move. So keep an eye on the Ether party, right? At least for the short term. Just about this area, right? But it could take us it could be like next week or so, but we will see. No time frame, just let's get to this target, right? So more time frame, just about like 160 to 170 in that range, right? We're most likely going to get a rejection. So let's move on to GoChain. GoChain, Geo. GoChain got the same exact pattern. It already pushed higher, but got a rejection. Got a rejection just about this area of let's say 340. A nice pullback. Now we attempting to go high, but let's see if we're going to be able to get a support from like a 280 to 270 in that range, just about this area. Just about this area. Let's see if we're going to be able to get a support from 280 to 270, right? The current price is just about like 3 or 4, right? So, but it was looking like great recently. Now we're getting a big sell-off. Maybe it is going to be like a great opportunity to great opportunity to reverse, right? And push higher up to these levels, right? Like a 430 to 450, right? So I'm looking for GoChain to be able to retest like a 430, right? So 430. So that's the ultimate target, before end of the month. So you would be looking at another 50% move to the upside, right, for GoChain, at least for the short term, right? So until BTC decides to go bullish again, and then they're gonna drop. It's gonna drop to the downside. Most of them gonna be dropping to the downside once BTC decides to push to the upside, right? So let's move on to let's see, Xzc Zcoin. Zcoin kind of like got a same pattern with I think like a Grocer coin and Power Ledger, but it is giving us a nice let's take a look at the daily. On the daily time frame, we got a nice divergence just about this area. The RSI is still looking beautiful, right? So it is just facing to the upside. We most likely, at some point gonna get back to this area. So, and it is going to be extremely bullish once we get to like 45 to 50, right, on the RSI. So price is getting some rejection. You can see like this big wick to the upside, just like that, right? you can see these big wicks to the upside. As soon as we break this this area, we're most likely gonna go back to this area of let's say the first week of May, right? Most crypto attempting to go back to first week of May. So I'm looking for GoChain to I mean not GoChain but Zcoin to be able to go back to like a first week of May. So let's see. Just about this area. So it is a big target, like, well, not a big target, like 30% move to the upside. So the accumulation move is going on Binance. Most people, accumulating heavily Zcoin, I mean Zcoin, right? Xzc, right? So the accumulation move is pretty much heavy. We're most likely going to get back to this area, in June. So I'm looking for Zcoin to be able to, make this big move, to the upside. We got a nice divergence, like I just said. So nice divergence, just like back in April, right? So just like back in April. So just like that, that was back, actually that was back in like August, right? You can see back in August at a big divergence, just like that, same exact divergence. We got this big move to the upside, so it came like in one day. So in one day, a 75% move to the upside. So I'm looking for this big move to the upside. So it is going to be very surprising. So it's not like something you can anticipate. You just gotta have to hold strong and then put your buy orders like up to just about this area, right? These areas. So that's about it for Zcoin, and then let's move on to ARK. ARK is looking the same way also. A big accumulation move. It is not heavy, like the volatility for ARK is kind of like a low. So but we could be seeing like a lot of volatility as soon as like we break this area of resistance on the R side, right? As soon as we break this area, definitely we're gonna be seeing like some volatility from ARK, right? So I'm looking for ARK to be able to get back to this area, right? So just about this area, of the second week of April, right? Because ARK doesn't get we don't have any like resistance, beside this one, just about like 900, right? So just about like 9,000. We don't have any other resistance, but almost like a 12,000, right? So 12,000. So ARK going to 12,000 going to be very quick. It's not going to be like a 7 to 21 days. I'm thinking like ARK can give us like that 60 to 70% move in one day. It is kind of aggressive to say like one day, but ARK can go like like most crypto, they pretty much very aggressive. So you just have to anticipate it, not wait for it. So like just like this move, 90% move to the upside, right? So ARK can give us those type of move if it if the opportunity is if the opportunity is present, right? It can give us like those big move, right? But we need like big volume, right, to get those type of opportunity. The divergence is pretty big, just like the rest of the crypto, big divergence, just like that, right? So big divergence. So I'm looking for ARK to be able to get back to a second week of April, right? Let's say 12,000, right? So 12,000 sats, right? That's a medium term for ARK. Just about this area, right? So just about this area. So all right, let me take a look at the chat room very shortly, and then we're gonna move on to BTC. BTC USDT. Let me take a look at the chat room. Hey, what's up, Sniper? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a Holochain first. You know, as we talked about Holo before, right? And I said like Holo, we could be looking at Holo coming back down to I think 0.786, right? And that's what we did exactly. Let's take a look at it. I haven't taken a look at Holo for so long. So yeah, we exactly came back to 0.786, and then we talked about it like when Holo was like just about this area. That was like you know, first week of April, right? And then we said Holo gonna come back down to 0.786, and that's what we did, right? And then we got this let's see, we got this big move to the upside, like almost, you know, almost 100% move to the upside. I've been sleeping on Holo. So even though I said like we're gonna get back down to you know, 0.786, I haven't like follow Holo for so long. But we're getting a nice bull flag, right? So it is a nice bull flag. The volatility is just low, that's why you cannot see it. But you got a nice bull flag from Holo, you know, a nice bull flag. So a nice ABC correction, a push to the upside. So I'm looking for Holo to be able to get back to 31, 32 sats very shortly. You know, if the market like decides, if the market decides to turn bullish, we're most likely going to go back to you know, 31 to 32, right? So because when you take a look at it, we most likely at 382. Let's see, we 50% pullback, right? We got back, we pushed to like a 31, came back down like 50% pullback. So we most likely going to be pushing higher. So the R side is not saying like we're going to push higher, but if the market decides to the R side is not, it's not looking like great, right? But if the market decides to push higher, we're most likely going to reverse, right? So but after a you know, 100% move, definitely, you know, we're gonna get some correction. It's not a big sell-off, you know, it's just like a normal correction. So but I'm pretty bullish on Holo, at least for the short term. Let's move on to XRP. XRP BTC, we're still getting a nice bull flag, but it is not a confirming like we're going to be pushing to the upside, right? So I'm looking for, you know, XRP to be able to push higher, but you know, we're not getting any confirmation of you know, further move to the upside, right, versus BTC, at least for the short term, right? So but you really, you know, you take a look at it, you know, we got a big push to the upside, came back down just about like a 0.618, another push to the upside, right? So a nice bull flag. So I'm looking for, you know, XRP to be able to get back to this area of let's see, that's just by like, it is just about like you know, second week of April, right? We could be, you know, getting back to, you know, second week of April, which is just about like 6,000, right? At least for the short term, right? 6,500, right? Just let's say 6,500, right? 6,500. So, and if BTC remains at you know, 7 to 8K, we could be looking at like almost let's see, almost like 55, like let's say 50 to 55 cents XRP if BTC remains at 7 to 8K, right? So another 20% move to the upside, right? 50 to 55 cents. So it's not bad at all. But XRP gonna get a lot higher than 55 cents, at least for the short term. All right, so that's about it for today. I just wanted to give a short live stream, and then to cover these coins that I think like gonna be very bullish shortly. So, and then BTC, I'm still looking for, after this flat correction, I'm looking for 11K BTC, right? You know, just about this area, 11K. Most people are looking for 5 to 6K, but you know, you gotta remember, like when when BTC was like you know 3-4K, people were looking for 2K. So it's not like it's not like a you know a big deal for people to look for a lower number. Some people are even looking for like a 1500 BTC. So but it is what it is. $11.5 to 12K, right? 11.5 to 12K. So hey, you're welcome, Mr. BU. All right. 11.5 to 12K. So the upside on the daily is looking great, man. We're not even getting like a you know a straight sell off to the downside. So the upside is looking great on the daily time frame. So it is looking great, man. BTC is looking great. BTC is looking great. Just because we got like a let's see, just because we got a you know a 20% drop, you know a 17% drop, you know altcoin are not confirming like you know BTC is down 20%, because you know most altcoins they still going up. So versus BTC, even though BTC, you know, most of the time when BTC drop, you know, all the alt they be dropping like 20 to 25% versus BTC. So none of them are dropping. None of them, you know, are dropping like more than 10% versus BTC. All of them up versus BTC, you know, the last 5-7 days. So so not all of them, but like most of them. So most of them. So but that's about it for today. I'm gonna cover, you know, again BTC, Litecoin, you know, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, all of them looking bullish. You know, Ethereum, I'm looking for 500 to 600 Ethereum very shortly. Most people are looking for, you know, $40 Ethereum. So good luck. All right, thank you for watching, man.